is a photo of a dog named Rocky that I got from my sister-in-law, and I traced him on a light table, and this is what he looks like. And now I'm going to finish him with pencils. I'm going to use my box of pencils that I got for $1 at a garage sale. And this is the 7B pencil, and it looks pretty good. So I'm putting in my background with the side of my pencil right up to the edge of these little hairs, so that they will look like hair. Kind of get this down into the grass. Now what pops that dog in the photo, in fact I'm going to use this to keep my hand clean. What pops the dog in the photo is that dark background, and I can see that I'm not anywhere near that dark yet, so I'm going to keep going. And keep turning my paper and build up my background tone. I can go over my edge here at the edge of the paper, because if I decide to frame it, that'll be covered anyway. So I don't have to make a big deal about stopping at the line that I put there. I think I'll lay down a coating of gray, and then I'll get a darker pencil and go over it. And then at the end, I will blend it. I'm not trying for a super even tone, because once I blend it, I want it to have a little bit of character or texture or something, rather than just an even tone. So that was the 7B. I'm going to the 9B. And I'm going to try and get my tone right. That's pretty good and dark. Okay, so I don't want to get a line from the edge of that page. But you can use a piece of paper to keep your hand clean while you're shading, as I'm doing with this photo right now. Whenever you have hair kind of coming out at a direction, it's good to use your shading coming out at that same direction. And I'll probably come in with the edge of my pencil a little bit and fix this fuzzy hair. Trying to see if I can get a feel for that hair. Try and get really darkest right by the dog, because he's the lightest part of the drawing, and I am actually going for contrast. So once again, here I'm trying to get my lines, even though they go off the page, I'm drawing them kind of the same direction that the hair comes out of the head, because then you get kind of a starburst effect, and that's, I find that pleasing. So first I'm going to go in around this side. You see my hand? That's what I'm trying to avoid with the paper underneath. So when you go one way like this, it's called hatching. And when you go the other way, it's called cross hatching. I do suggest, if you have a few extra dollars, go buy yourself an 8B pencil or so, because if you put in this background with a 2B pencil, yes, you could do it pretty close to it, but it would take you way longer, and a nice dark pencil gets your shadows in really fast. Now I'm just going to keep going over these until I lose the edges of my lines and I just have kind of a wavering background color. Okay. Now it's really important to use this paper as I put in his nose. I think I'll use my 8. Fill in a small background. I traced this dog on a light table, so that's why you don't see my tracing marks on the back. A light table is a good thing to buy if you want to do this type of drawing a lot, where you're trying to do a portrait and get a likeness of somebody. It takes a lot less time if you trace your beginning drawing. But if you want to spend the time to get everything right, that is probably even better. You gotta leave that little spark in the eye, and you have to get the pupil just right. And then that's when the dog comes to life. And feel free to do a little bit of a broken line every once in a while. Your lines don't have to be always the same thickness. There's a little bit of shading around the eyes here. Now I'm going to really try and get that edge of the ear. And I'm going to go in on this edge and soften my shading. See if I can get those little dog hair, like a little aura. There's a little bit of a shading right around where I would call it like the edges of the smile here. And then around the bottom of the muzzle, and the tongue has a little bit of a shadow. edge of the ears a little more. Now these areas, you can put them in if you think that they're important, but to me, I'm more drawn to looking at the dog's face. And it's kind of a cool thing that his feet are in the grass, because then I don't have to draw the feet. So all I have to do is go in here, get this little leg shadow, and then there's like a little body shadow, and then there's just a little bit of fur shadow here. All right, here's what I'm gonna try. Maybe I need a kneaded eraser. Right now I'm putting my lines going outward. Just trying to soften them out a little bit. And then once I get this blender all kind of dirtied up, I can use it to blend some of this other light shadows that we have here. Okay, now I'm going to try it here. Trying to create a little bit of a different texture for this grass. When I look at the photo, the grass is out of focus in the front, and I'm just trying to pick that up. I'm calling that a day. I'm signing it. And I'm dating it.